Hello guys, today we are opening up MSI Ventus 37 with two fans. I want to change thermal pads and thermal paste, and I want to see if that will help with temperature and hash rate, as I will show you now how it looks. And let's move to it. This is the card that I will be opening up today. It hashes around 62.5 hash rate, 60 degrees core, 30% fan, 112 volts. I have exactly the same card here that's hashing around 64 mega hash rate. Same temperature, 44% on the fan. This one is even worse, but this one has warranty still, so I don't want to open it up. So I will be opening this one, and I want to see two things. The first one is I can lower this temperature, and the second one is if I can get higher hash rate, because this is the maximum I can get with this card. And since this is GDDR6 and it does not have temperature sensor, I want to see if maybe the temperature is what's limiting me, and if I change the thermal pads onto memory, maybe I can get more hash rate. So that is the goal. Let's see what I can do. I will be opening the card now. I will start by unscrewing these 4 screws, and don't be confused by this here. That's just how I hang the GPU in the rig. So let's open it up. Well, that was surprisingly easy. So this card is attached with only 4 screws. These ones you don't need to remove to open the backplate, because backplate seems like to be plastic. So I don't think you will gain anything by putting thermal pads there. And we have 8 memory chips here that I will replace these thermal pads. They look oily, so they're ready for replacement. And the thermal pad does not look so good either. I will replace that as well. Since I opened the card, I will replace these thermal pads as well. And I really don't like this design, because they put thermal pads to connect with another heatsink, small heatsink here, as you can see. So I don't know if you gain anything by this. If this heatsink is open, the fan would blow some air through these holes here and onto this heatsink, and I think it would cool better than having this thermal pad here. But I don't want to risk it. It worked like this, so I will just put another one here, although I think it's stupid to have it here. And we have 2 things here. This is to keep the distance from I guess these 2 chips here, probably. And again, we have a similar heatsink here, but as you can see, we don't have thermal pads here, so I think this one would work without thermal pads as well. But just to be safe, I don't want to experiment with this card. I will replace these pads as well. So let's do it. I will remove these thermal pads, and I just realized how stupid this actually is. So they put thermal pads just like a small piece on this side, and then this one goes over the pipes, so it doesn't have a full contact with the chip and the heatsink. This one is okay. I thought that Gigabyte had the worst design, but MSI is pretty close with this one. It is very bad. Hopefully this will... Too bad I cannot measure the temperature after the fix of the memory, but I'm confident it will be much better, and much better for the card. These are 2mm thermal pads. I will measure them again to check, but they should be 2mm. Remove the paste. And remove these ones as well. This is so stupid. I think they would be much better if they just left the pads untouched. Let me clean this up. This is so horrible to remove. I suggest you guys don't even try to remove this. I will just replace this one that I started, but the other one I will not. It's just so sticky and so stupid. I mean, who does this? Who puts directly thermal pads to the heatsink, for the love of God? It's like they have monkeys instead of engineers working there. Okay, I'll be back when I remove this. So I cleaned to the best of my abilities, which is not that good, but it is what it is. I will now measure the pads and start changing and cutting them. As usual, I will be using the GPU Ultimate thermal pads, 2mm thickness. The ones I removed measure 2.5, but they're really squishy, so I think 2 will be fine. So let's see. I will cut them now. So the thermal pads and thermal paste are applied. Let's try and assemble it. I didn't change this thermal pad. I don't think it's doing anything anyway, so I'll leave it there. Connect the fans back. And the good thing about this MSI, I'm starting to think the only good thing about this MSI is that it has only 4 screws. So very carefully align the screws. With the board. They should click in. Turn the board and screw them back. Let's see. Try to apply equal pressure on all 4 screws. First just screw them a little bit and then to the end. This thermal paste can be really sticky, hard to clean. Okay, that's it. Let's fire up this bad boy and see if it did something useful. And here we are. It seems that maybe we got like 1 or 2 degrees down. I didn't expect much because this card has already been opened, not by me. Somebody was changing the thermal paste on it. I bought it second hand, so I assumed it's good. So let's say we got 2 degrees here. And now let's see if we can push this to some higher hash rate. I'll try immediately like 3000 here and see what happens, if it crashes or not. I'll be back in few minutes when the clock updates. So for now it seems that it is working. Like it behaves exactly the same as the first one, and they're the same card. I need to let this run overnight and see if they're in correct shares, but previously I don't think I was able to set it to this clock without crashing it immediately. So maybe the new thermal pads did help. I will let it run overnight with its clock settings and see what happens in the morning. So here we are 8 hours later. There is only one invalid share,
So that is pretty good considering I couldn't run this card at this memory clock. I will probably drop it down a little bit on the memory. I don't like to see these valid shares, but I think this thing worked. The memory temperature was the thing that was stopping this card from hashing more. I got like 1.5 mega hash rate just because I changed thermal pads, and I got maybe 1 or 2 degrees lower temperature. So if you have similar problems, I suggest you change the thermal pads, especially on the MSI and Gigabyte cards. They are really bad, and you might get a better hash rate. I would change it on my 3060 Ti, but it has warranty still, so I will wait for that. Anyway guys, if you like the video, please like, share and subscribe. You can find me on the Discord channel that I'll leave the link in the description below. And until next time, bye bye.